You're watching the Fox 5 Morning News at 9.
Hilton San Diego Bayfront Hotel camera. Good morning, friends. 9:13 on this Tuesday. All right, parents, if you've ever dealt with picky eating in kids, yes, you're cute, but you're very, very, very challenging sometimes. And I don't want to eat this, and I don't want to eat that. Registered dietitian and mom of 7, Katie Ferraro, here with some strategies to reduce the picky eating. They start when they're this age, and I'm dealing with it with like a 7-year-old right now.
I know it can be tough. And so the key with preventing picky eating, we can't always prevent it. I want to tell you that there's some degree of picky eating that's going to start in most kids around the 2nd year of life, and moms and dads, you're doing nothing wrong if you have picky eating. But we can do some things to minimize picky eating starting when our babies are younger.
Okay, what can we do?
All right, so Gus and Hannah are turning 1 next week, and
happy birthday.
last week we celebrated, they actually have tried 100 different foods by the time they turned 1. So the key there is variety, that you want to offer your baby as many different tastes and textures and foods and flavors prior to turning 1.
Okay, so you say to do 5 new foods per week starting at 6 months old.
Absolutely. So if you think about it, if we want to get, now there's no magic about doing 100 different foods, but it's a good benchmark to aim for. If you do 5 new foods a week, you think about it, by the time they turn 1, they will have tried 100 different foods.
Okay, you break it down. You say pick what, like do you have different categories?
So we kind of documented it all on Instagram. If you guys go to Baby Led Wean Team, you'll see each week the baby's tried a new fruit, a new vegetable, a new starch, a new protein food, and then a bonus food. We focused on early introduction of allergens and high iron foods for the babies. But what that does is it helps exposes them to all these different flavors and tastes, because research shows us that the greater the variety that they have, the less likely they are to be picky down the road.
My children, their first food for all of them was an avocado.
That's a great one.
They don't eat avocado now, but they eat broccoli, and they loved, and I gave it to them when I was a kid.
Wonderful. And one thing we have to keep in mind too as parents and caregivers is that a baby and a child, they may need to be exposed to a food 10, 15, sometimes even 20 times before they like and accept it. And that toddlers and young children will go through periods where they'll totally refuse foods that they loved last week. But as parents, we have to keep continuing to incorporate those foods in order to build back up that acceptance of the food.
Is that the biggest piece of advice that you would have for any parents who are dealing with the picky ones from this little cute age all the way as they're growing up?
Absolutely. It sometimes seems counterintuitive, right? They don't like that food, so I'm not going to offer it. But we have to continue to offer those foods over and over and over again in different varieties and forms. We'll reuse the leftover eggs later in another dish, so that the babies continue to see that food over and over and increases their likelihood of acceptance.
What are these little babies eating right now?
So we keep trying new foods, even though we finished the 100 foods. They had couscous the other day, which can be a real pain to clean up, no matter how old your kid is. So I put it into a little fritter, just fried in some avocado oil, which has a really high smoke point, good source of good fats for the baby's brain development, and then put the couscous, made it like a little patty, so they can pick it up and eat it themselves, and it makes less mess for you to have to clean up later.
And they have a little egg and a little watermelon.
Little egg and a little watermelon. So I always recommend doing 2 or 3 different foods. You don't have to go crazy. Keep in mind that babies might only eat 2 or 3 tablespoons of food, but we do want to give them an opportunity to try a lot of different foods, because they'll blow you away with what they'll eat if you let them.
All right, parents, we're not going to give up. We're going to keep feeding our kids and keep exposing them to that food.
You gotta do it.
So my kids ask for sushi now.
That's awesome.
Because I just I'm like, we're gonna have sushi, yeah, right? Fox5sandiego.com. Click the little scene on tab if you want to get hooked up. Chrissy, it's next week, right?
Next week is their birthday, yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Why are you looking at me like that?
Happy birthday, dear babies.
Happy birthday to you.
They're like, give me some cake. I'll take the cake. All right, here it is, Westgate.